What's good everyone, it's Smudger here. It's been a while since I've hit record. Didn't intend for it to get to the middle of March before I posted my first proper video. I think I posted like one short in January. Things got away, the game wasn't fun, life got busy. It's the short summary side of it. The longer side of it is the game just got to a point after I unlocked Orion where there felt like there was like no point playing it. And I don't mean that in like a super dramatic woe is me sort of thing. It got to a point where I think subconsciously, because it definitely wasn't a conscious choice to stop playing and stop uploading. I just needed that break. I needed that time away. And even now I'm not like completely sold on what the future looks like in terms of Call of Duty and video uploads. But it just got to this point, I think, where I needed the time away. I've been playing like a lot of other video games, just not Modern Warfare. That's what it comes down to. It's not like I lost my love for video games. It's just that this game in particular was not it. And I think for the most part, that's probably a shared experience. I've seen a lot of people express a lot of unhappiness with the current state of the game, both within core multiplayer and Warzone. Ranked is a bit different. There's been a lot of love for ranked, and that's great to see. I used to grind ranked back in the day, but I've just not had the chance right now. And I think that begs the question about whether or not Call of Duty is dead, because in the past, no matter how busy I got, there'd still always be time for Call of Duty. Like, that's just the way it worked, is that the games were always fun enough that I'd keep coming back, even if it was just for like half an hour, an hour at the weekend. And now when I sit down and I have time to myself, my first thought is not, oh, I want to go play COD. The first thought is, I'll go do something else, because that will be guaranteed fun. That will be guaranteed to not be a letdown, because at this point, this game feels like, it doesn't feel inherently bad. It just feels like it's a bit of a toss-up about whether or not it's going to be a fun experience each time you open up the game. I think that's what it comes down to, is that there's a level of unpredictability about it that just kind of sucks the fun out of the game, because I'm not going to spend my free time, especially when I am busy, playing a game that might end up being horrifically unfun. I just don't see a world in which we get a good core multiplayer experience currently, which is a shame, because I think there's potential for it to be still a lot of fun. I know a lot of people say that kind of core multiplayer, it's had its time, it's passed, it's gone. I would disagree with that. I think there's still enough of us out there that want to play it. That's just my opinion. You might disagree. And then there's people that say, multiplayer is for brain dead people, you just run, die, run, die, run, die. And you're not wrong, but it has always been like that. Like, that's not a new thing. Core multiplayer has always been about that kill, die, run, die. Like, that's always what it's been like. And the better players will rise to the top and they'll string together wild kill streaks and, end 40-1 or something like that. That's just in the DNA of Call of Duty, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's enough people that are brain dead enough to want to play it that I don't see why completely tanking the multiplayer experience it would make sense. If there was such a small number of players that they needed to find a way to like draw people back in, I could get it, but it doesn't feel like that. Admittedly on Vanguard it felt a little bit like that, but that's because Vanguard was so horrendous. But Cold War, I genuinely really enjoyed Cold War. I thought Cold War was a great game. Not like top tier, but it was a fun game. 9 times out of 10 I had a good time on Cold War. And so like there's still the potential out there. There's still enough players out there willing to do that. I mean, look at the Dugganator, he's having a great time. I just don't know if there's enough, whether that is incentive or funding or passion from the devs to make Call of Duty multiplayer a good game. I think Warzone's currently in such a state that they're probably having to hold a few crisis meetings on that, because people are not happy, quite rightly as well from what I've seen. But I'm kind of sick of Warzone causing multiplayer to fall to the back burner. It's only been it's like 3 years of Warzone, and it just feels like we've taken, excuse you, I was here first. Can I help you? Oh wow, we're all at it. I mean, admittedly, this is probably what people are talking about when they call the multiplayer side of things brain dead. Is literally us just standing here knifing each other for no gain whatsoever. But you know what? That's part of the experience, right? You just gotta do it sometimes. You've got to jump in. You gotta have a good time. You gotta embrace the stupidity of it. And I feel like we're going to lose that stupidity if we continue. Oh my god. Oh, that was my claymore. If we continue to ignore multiplayer in such a fashion. And like, that feels like such a... Oh my god, hello everyone. That feels like such a shame to lose. I feel like we're just missing some of the love for multiplayer. That's probably the best way to put it, is we're missing some of the love for multiplayer. I don't know if we'll ever get that love back. I still have a lot of love for it, but who knows if the devs do, because when it comes down to it, that is what matters. Because if we have devs that don't care about the game, then what chance do we stand? We're going to be stuck playing Infected because it's all we can stomach. And don't get me wrong, I love Infected. Infected has got to be one of the most brain dead modes out there. And I love it. Infected is like wonderfully brain dead. That's so rude. Infected is like the epitome of the best of Call of Duty. It appears in like every title and it's just so wonderful. I don't know how else to describe it, I really don't. It's just such a wonderfully stupid game mode. Did I miss him? Or was he someone else? Either way. I hope Call of Duty remembers that multiplayer is at its core, because I certainly do, and I would love to have a engaging experience. And you know what? Play of the game means nothing, and we didn't even get to see it. What a fantastic game. That pretty much just summarises the experience right there. I don't know when the next upload is going to be, but we'll have to see how the game treats us and how motivation strikes us. But until then, guys, I hope you have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.